Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report. We are after ECB. ECB did not bring us any interesting news, well, definitely we didn't get interest rate change. Everybody was waiting for the words from Mario Draghi. What is he going to say, especially after Mr. Mnuchin, Secretary of Treasury Secretary from US, talked down American dollar. He said that weaker currency is good for trade. So we were waiting if Mario Draghi would like to join the currency wars, but he didn't. Mario Draghi, well, it is said that Mario Draghi wasn't dovish enough. We had a dovish expectations about, market had dovish expectations about Mario Draghi. He wasn't dovish enough, which was a positive information for euro. What Mario Draghi said? Draghi says downside risk related to global factors. Draghi's strong momentum could lead to positive growth. Surprises. Euro dollar was testing 125. After that they reversed, but now they are coming back. It obviously affected dollar index. First, dollar index was talked down because of the Mnuchin, Mr. Mnuchin. Later they tried to reverse a little bit because Donald Trump tried to rescue dollar. What did Donald Trump said? That I can quote you. He said something like Mr. Mnuchin was misunderstood about his opinion about the American dollar, right? He tried to Donald Trump tried to stop that, but his comments kind of failed. So he wasn't able to provide any support for the American dollar. Let me show you. I would like to. Trump said Mnuchin's comment was taken out of context and added that our country is becoming so economically strong again and strong in other ways too, and the dollar will get stronger and stronger, and ultimately, I want to see a strong dollar. That's what Donald Trump said. It helped American dollar, but now we do have another wave of downswing, wave of bearish sentiment towards the American dollar. So Donald Trump failed to lift American dollar. Swiss franc went higher because of the comments from SNB president. Following his comments about the FX intervention, we are very close to those levels before the Black Thursday from 2015. Thomas Jordan said that interventions are needed for adequate monetary conditions, according to interview with CNBC. And that caused the strength of the euro to Swiss franc, for example. So it was quite enjoyable end of the week. We had some enjoyable movements, new developments, and now let me show you the calendar. What are we having on the calendar for the last day of this week? And also we have to look for the calendar for the next week, right? We need to be prepared for the forthcoming week. We have to wait a little bit. Calendar has to load. All right. So what do we have here? 4.5 hours, 4 hours, 20 minutes. We will have GDP from US. In 20 minutes, we'll have GDP from UK. And we will have in almost 5 hours speech from BOE, Bank of England Governor Mark Carney. So quite enjoyable end of the week. Still to come, still we should have a big volatility, especially like cable, so British pound to American dollar. CPI from Canada also important, so American dollar to Canadian dollar. So yes, if you still want to trade at the end of the week, you will have occasions to do that. You will have occasions to trade this week, although it's already Friday. Let me show you what's going to happen next week. Next week, surprisingly, Monday will be interesting. Usually Mondays are not very busy, but as you can see, we do have some interesting numbers that are about to be shown. On Tuesday, GDP from Eurozone and another speech from Mark Carney. On Wednesday, pack of data from Australia, CPIs, important. Speech from Donald Trump, definitely enjoyable, if not important for the markets, definitely enjoyable. CPI from Eurozone, super important for the euro. And Fed interest rate decision. We're not expecting an interest rate rise in US. So we're not like, markets are not putting attention on this one. Thursday, ISM PMIs. Well, actually PMIs from most of the leading economies, Chinese PMIs, German PMIs. So PMI day on Thursday. On Friday, non-farm payrolls, as it will be first Friday of the month. So non-farm payrolls on Friday. Okay, that's next week. Quite enjoyable, interesting next week. We should get some nice movements. Now, let's see the charts. Let's see the charts, how the situation looks like after ECB. And I would like to show you first Euro to British Pound, because Euro to British Pound is having a false breakout pattern. False breakout pattern is one of my favorites. 2 days ago, on Wednesday, this pair made an attack on a horizontal support here, this green one. We managed to close below the green area. Actually, I can adjust it there. All right. We managed to close below the green area for the first time since June 2016, which triggered a sell signal. But yesterday this signal was denied. The price came back above, which makes this breakout a false breakout, and usually after false breakout what you get is a strong movement in the opposite direction. First resistance for this movement, first target is a purple area, second one is the trend line, third one is the blue area, and fourth one is the red area, right? These are potential targets for this false breakout pattern, which should result with a nice upswing. Next one, I would like to show you American dollar to Canadian dollar, which is doing a very good job in terms of the technical analysis. Because the price is going down, the price created a rectangle for some time. The price was bouncing from the upper line, horizontal resistance and lower horizontal support. Support got broken, and principle of the price action trading, so broken support became a resistance. This is a resistance. Price bounced from this resistance and price is about to go lower. That's our view for the American dollar to Canadian dollar, right? No magic tools here. Broken support becomes resistance. That's what we do believe in. That's what's happening on the market many times. If you see this kind of price action, you just trade that. Next one, New Zealand dollar to American dollar. New Zealand dollar had some problems recently because of the CPI, which came worse than expectations, right? They were expecting 0.4, they got 0.1. Especially that it happened on an ultra important resistance. Here, maybe you don't see the importance, but here you will see resistance from November, from February, from September, and now. What is more? The price created two shooting stars. That's supposed to be ultra strong sell signal. But as you can see, buyers are not touched with that. They don't care. They use the long-term uptrend line for a bounce from this, they use this long-term uptrend line to create a reversal along with the horizontal support here, this green one, and the price created a hammer, and that's actually a confirmation for a buy signal. That's actually a confirmation for a positive sentiment. In the meantime, that's a flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern. We broke the upper line of the flag. That triggers us a buy signal. That's it. Also, on the lower time frames, that can be considered as a false breakout below the uptrend line and below the horizontal support. That being said, we think that there is a positive sentiment on New Zealand dollar to American dollar. Other instruments. Euro dollar. Upswing, downswing, upswing. Not very enjoyable situation for like trend followers like myself, because, well, one thing is good because I'm a swing trader. Those kind of intraday movements I should not care about that. But also I would like to see, steady movements, not choppy ones like this. Anyway, there is no signal on euro dollar now. We do have one trend line, which is quite close, but it's not so super significant because it's very steep. Long-term situation does not change as long as we are above the yellow area. The sentiment is positive. Unfortunately, after ECB, I lost interest in euro dollar. I don't see any good trading setups there. American dollar to Japanese yen. Yesterday they tried a reversal. The price created a kind of a hammer, definitely pin bar. Oh, kind of an optimistic pattern, right? But the dollar is losing again today. Buyers are not using a potential from this first candle, from this reversal from the candle from yesterday, and that may be their huge problem. Our scenario that the price will eventually reach the green support is still on the table, looks very probable. Gold is struggling to definitely beat the resistance on $1,360 per ounce. That may be the start of a correction on gold. Maybe we will see a bigger correction here. Potentially that can happen. Price closing above the yellow area will be a definite buy signal here. FTSE, yes, that's what we are expecting. We are waiting for the price to touch the red area. They touched that once, but we're not only waiting for the price to touch this area, but we want to see a bullish price action here. Once we will see a bullish price action here, that will be an invitation to go long, and that will be a very strong buy signal. And I am absolutely sure that we will tell you about that more, because it's a very potentially that can be a very strong bullish setup. Bitcoin cannot force $11,000. This shows kind of a weakness here. The price created also kind of a pennant, so pennant with upper red line and lower blue line. Breakout of the lower line of the pennant should trigger us a sell signal. Breakout is there. So I think that now the short-term sentiment towards Bitcoin is negative, and we should see the Bitcoin going to the green area. That's my view on Bitcoin. Euro to British pound. I told you about that. Loonie told you. Kiwi told you. So now dollar index. You see, they tried to leave the American dollar higher. Donald Trump did. Tried. Eventually, this action failed. Now the price is going lower again, and well, there's still a hope, right? On a dollar index, the candle from yesterday's hammer, if they would be able to create a hammer from this candle, that can be a positive sign. So one hammer, another hammer. If the hammer will be created from this candle, we can see an upswing to the blue horizontal resistance, but so far it's too early to say that. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen, unfortunately sideways trend, very boring sideways trend. I don't see any good occasion here anymore. American dollar to Australian dollar to American dollar, they are ignoring this negative candlestick from yesterday. So similar thing is happening on New Zealand dollar to American dollar. Here they didn't even, they were not even bothered to try to test the trend line, like on New Zealand dollar here. So this pair is a bit stronger, right? They bounced straight away. Maybe they use this horizontal support. Okay, fair enough. As long as we stay above the orange area and the uptrend line, this green uptrend line, the sentiment is positive. What are the next instruments? American dollar to Singaporean dollar. Here we should get to this green support. Eventually we should get there. That's not a sure bet, and that's not even a good trading opportunity. Because there's not good risk to reward ratio, but this is kind of a situation which is good for like media when they ask you in a newspaper or on TV or in radio, what is your outlook on American dollar to Singaporean dollar? When you look on this chart, you can easily say like it's a negative and American dollar should decline and Singaporean dollar should be stronger, and we should reach the support on 128.20. That looks almost certain, but would I trade it? No, I wouldn't trade it, because telling that is completely different from trading that. When you trade that, you need to focus on the risk to reward ratio, proper stop loss, if it's worth to trade it, if it's not. In this case, it's not. More or less, it's certain that the price will get there, but you need to think where should you place stop loss, and if the stop loss is too far from the entry point, it is not worth trading, right? So that's the difference between being an economist, for example, or saying where the price will go from trading. That's the difference. Euro to New Zealand dollar defended this long-term uptrend line. Yesterday Mario Draghi, obviously. Did it change much? Not really, but the positive sentiment towards euro is there. We are still below the neckline, but the neckline is under attack, right? This black line is under attack. I think it should be eventually broken. We should get to the yellow area soon. S&P 500, two pin bars recently. They are showing us not a willingness for a reversal, not at all. They are just showing us that we are waiting for a fuel for another upswing, right? This is 2018. Everything is great. WTI, after making new long-term highs, we see a bigger reversal. Price is aiming horizontal support here. They should get there. They should get to the trend line. Mix of those, mix of the horizontal support and the trend line will be a good trading opportunity, good buying opportunity in my opinion. American dollar to Swiss franc. Here we can see Jordan in action. Not Michael Jordan though. We are breaking ultra important long-term support, which is present on the chart since the middle of October. So, middle of October, 2016 April, 2017 July, September, and it's broken now. Price closing this week below the blue area will be ultra strong sell signal on the American dollar to Swiss franc. Kind of a head and shoulder formation as well. So yeah, if you think about buying pound, buying Swiss franc, well, seems like a good idea. Cable is, I like cable because we were expecting that for a long time. This trend line is off the table. You can see this upswing is so strong that there's no reason to draw a trend line. Why? Because even if the trend line will be broken, that will not mean anything, right? Because there is still a positive sentiment on cable. Not much to add here, right? What do we have here? We will have, okay, for today, in 5 minutes, GDP from UK. So we should definitely get some volatility. On a yearly basis, we expect 1.4. Data will be shown in 4 minutes. That will be interesting. We'll see if we're gonna watch it live here. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. This is nice. Look at that. Inverse head and shoulder formation, broken neckline becomes a support. A broken resistance becomes a support. Whoa, how's the quality of this bounce? Does it look legitimate to you? We can make it like, oh, H4 looks especially promising, right? Oh, ooh, here I wanted to do, okay. Let's do it like that. I would like to adjust it as good as possible to the current situation on the market. Here. Yes. I think this bounce is quite good. Looks alright. Looks alright. A flag. I think this position is a risk worth taking. I will think about that and maybe I will open this for my own account. DAX is struggling a little bit. Well, some may say that it's a false breakout here, but I wouldn't be so sure about that. Well, the thing is that as long as we stay above the red area, about the red line and above the blue line, the sentiment is positive. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. Here I'm gonna remove this instrument because it's nothing interesting there. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar. They are defending the neckline of this head and shoulder formation, so maybe we will see a breakout of the upper line. So we are waiting here for a proper signal, right? As a trader, you should not care in which way there will be a breakout, because you can go short, you can sell dollar, you can sell Aussie, buy Kiwi here, or you can buy Aussie and sell Kiwi here. You're not an exporter, importer, you shouldn't give you shouldn't care about that. In which way we will go, that's for you just a trading opportunity. So actually that's an invitation for like a pending order. Remember that only the breakout of this line is not significant enough. We have to wait for the breakout of the horizontal resistance here. So thank you very much, guys. Remember, if you have a position on British pound, remember that in 1 minute we will have GDP. I'm very well, I would like to see the reaction there. I want to know the number. Thanks very much for watching daily analytical report. Now we'll have a short break, and after that break we will have a webinar about candlestick patterns and price patterns, right? So yesterday we started technical analysis. Today we will expand this topic. So thanks very much and goodbye. And in half minute, GDP from UK, remember. In the meantime, follow us on our Twitter account and our website alpari.news. Thanks, goodbye.